Hello, Bulldogs. This is Mr. Wickwar here, talking to you a little bit about Adobe Illustrator. This is tutorial number 2. We're going to talk a little bit about some tools and how to create a logo. Part 1 of Mr. Robot is to create your robot. Part 2 is to create a nifty logo. And part 3 is to create some signage where you could actually sell it in front of some people that were going to support your company with money. To start with, I added a new artboard by clicking on the Layers panel, the Artboard tab, and the little Layer button. This adds a new artboard. I renamed my artboard panel logo. Artboard layer, I guess you'd call it. I'm going to move that off. I'm going to scroll over to show y'all the line tool. If I click on the line tool, and I add a little bit of a color and size to my stroke, of course, this is a regular line. If I hold my mouse down and choose the arc, this is an arced line. If I click on the next one and hold it down, we have a spiral. If I hold down my mouse and click on the next one, you could make a grid. And if I hold down my mouse and move to the last one, you can make what's called a polar grid. Not sure why you'd use these a lot, but nevertheless, they're there. Today we're going to talk about the arc. I'm going to hold down my mouse. I'm going to choose the arc tool. I'm going to make my font, my stroke, 0. And I'm going to draw an arc. The cool thing about the line tool is that if you use the text tool in combination with it, you can move right up next to this, click your mouse. Notice that my mouse turned into a, when I clicked on that, let's try that again. If I click on my text tool, and I move right up here and change my font down a little bit. Let's make it about 50. Okay. I can make curved text. Let's just say bot of dreams. If I scooch that down just a little bit, I'm now ready to make my logo or another portion of my logo. Let's click on the text tool again. Here, let's make our font a little bigger. Change the font name. And type something from our robot. Mine was called WickBot. I changed this font right here to a different color. I changed the stroke on both of them. We talked about complementary colors the other day. I'm going to pick a complementary outline stroke. I'm going to make it red here. About a 5 width. I'm going to make a complementary color on this one. The complementary color will be black. And I'll move it up to about 5. Now, if I take this text and scooch it down and right-click it, I can create outlines of this text, which basically turns it into an image, a shape. I'm going to click on the Direct Select tool. Then I'm going to move these down where I want them. Okay, the only other thing I want you to do here is I want you to add yourself a paintbrush effect. I clicked on the paintbrush. I clicked on the brushes. And you have this library down here of hundreds of brushes. I already picked one. It was in Vector Pack. It was grunge brushes. It's this one right here. Once I click on my paintbrush, I'm just going to add a little flare effect here. You could move that if you wanted to. Adjust it. But the final thing I need to add is a copyright symbol. I'm going to make myself a circle. I'm going to increase the size of the stroke. I'm going to put a big letter C in the middle. This is a quick way to do a logo. You don't necessarily have to copy mine in any regard. In fact, I prefer you to be a little more original. Let's change this font real quick. Make it a little bit smaller. Scooch it inside our circle. And remember, you can always use the arrow keys to get it right where you want. I'm just going to draw a big arrow around everything. Resize it. And then move it where I need it to go. Sometimes if you have trouble moving it, go ahead and group them together. There we go. Now if you want to move the entire thing, you can draw a huge box around all of it. Scooch it up where you want it to be. And basically we finished the logo. Not a bad deal. See what you can do. Good luck. Remember, try your hardest. And as always, try and try again.